You think organic bread means safe. You think the green label protects you. But most organic bread sold today is still factory bread, sweetened, conditioned, and engineered for shelf life, not health. In the next few minutes, I'm exposing 7 organic bread brands that hide sugars, processing aids, and industrial shortcuts behind wholesome packaging. And at the end, I'll show you why only a few breads are actually safe and what makes them different. Let's begin. Number 7. Dave's Killer Bread. Dave's Killer Bread built its reputation on a powerful story, bold branding, and whole grains that look healthier than most supermarket loaves. At first glance, it feels like a responsible choice. Dark crust, seeds on top, words like organic and whole grain everywhere. But once you slow down and read the ingredient list carefully, the illusion starts to crack. This bread contains organic cane sugar and organic molasses, 2 added sugars in a product that should not need any. Traditional bread does not require sweetness to function. Flour, water, salt, yeast, and thyme are enough. The added sugars here are not about tradition or nutrition. They are there to speed fermentation, improve browning, and train your taste buds to expect sweetness where none belongs. For older adults, this matters more than most people realize. Bread is eaten daily, sometimes multiple times a day. Hidden sugars in bread quietly raise blood glucose, contribute to insulin resistance, and disrupt appetite regulation without ever tasting sweet. That makes this one of the most deceptive places sugar hides. The ingredient list also includes added wheat gluten and enzymes. Wheat gluten boosts protein numbers on the label, but it also signals that the flour itself is not strong enough to perform naturally. Enzymes replace long fermentation with chemical acceleration, allowing the bread to be mixed, risen, and baked faster. This is not artisan baking. It is industrial optimization. Dave's Killer Bread is not the worst bread on the shelf, but it is not the clean, simple food it pretends to be. It is a processed product wearing a health costume. Better than white bread, yes, but still far from what organic bread should mean. Number 6. Rudy's Organic Bakery. Rudy's Organic Bakery markets itself as friendly, natural, and nostalgic bread that feels closer to home baking than factory production. But once again, the ingredient list tells a different story. Rudy's contains organic cane sugar, organic molasses, and organic sunflower oil, creating a sweet, soft loaf designed to appeal to modern taste preferences rather than traditional nutrition. Bread was never meant to be sweet. That sweetness masks the absence of real fermentation flavor. It also conditions people to associate softness and sugar with freshness, even though those qualities come from additives, not skill. Older generations remember when bread tasted wheaty, filling, and substantial. Rudy's tastes closer to cake than grain. To maintain shelf life, Rudy's relies on lactic acid and processing aids, like enzymes and ascorbic acid. These ingredients are technically allowed in organic products, but they serve the same role as preservatives and dough conditioners in conventional bread. They stabilize texture, prevent mold, and guarantee uniform loaves, at the cost of authenticity. Real bread is inconsistent. One loaf differs slightly from the next. That variability is a sign of life, not failure. Industrial bread removes variability through chemical control. Rudy's may feel more natural than the biggest brands, but it still follows the same factory logic. For consumers seeking truly nourishing bread, especially seniors managing digestion, blood sugar, or inflammation, Rudy's is another reminder that organic does not mean traditional, and friendly branding does not equal clean food. Number 5. Trader Joe's Organic Bread. Trader Joe's enjoys enormous trust. Many shoppers assume that if a product carries their label, it has already passed a higher standard. That trust makes their organic bread particularly disappointing. Most Trader Joe's organic loaves contain organic cane sugar and organic molasses, immediately pushing them out of the simple bread category. The sweetness is noticeable once you pay attention. It changes how bread functions in a meal, making savory foods taste slightly off and encouraging overconsumption. Bread becomes a flavored product rather than a neutral staple. Trader Joe's organic bread also uses added oils, cultured wheat starch, and dough conditioners like calcium sulfate and ascorbic acid. Cultured wheat starch sounds wholesome, but it is a clean label preservative, designed to extend shelf life without using words that scare shoppers. Functionally, it does the same job as chemical preservatives. The dough conditioners reduce mixing time, speed production, and create predictable texture across thousands of loaves. This is manufacturing, not baking. The end result is bread that lasts unnaturally long and tastes unnaturally uniform. Trader Joe's excels in many categories. Organic bread is not one of them. This loaf is built for logistics, not longevity of health. Trust the label less. Trust the ingredient list more. Number 4. O Organics. O Organics is a store brand organic line designed to hit price points, not preserve tradition. Their bread reflects that goal clearly. The ingredient list includes organic sugar and added wheat gluten, signaling immediate compromise. Added gluten exists to force consistency from flour that is not allowed to behave naturally. The formula continues with added oils and a long list of processing aids: vinegar, cultured wheat flour, ascorbic acid, and enzymes. Each ingredient performs a technical function normally handled by time, fermentation, and skilled hands. Together, they allow bread to be produced quickly, cheaply, and identically every time. For older adults, this matters because industrial bread is harder to digest. Rapid fermentation leaves starches less broken down, increasing bloating and blood sugar spikes. Long fermentation does the opposite, but O Organics does not wait. This bread meets organic certification legally, but it violates organic philosophy completely. It removes complexity from nature and replaces it with chemistry. That may be efficient, but it is not nourishing. Number 3. Simple Truth. Organic Simple Truth claims simplicity right in the name. Unfortunately, the bread does not live up to it. The ingredient list includes organic cane sugar, soybean oil, soy flour, and soy lecithin, introducing both unnecessary sweetness and major allergens into a product that traditionally contains none. Soy ingredients are used to soften texture, improve mixing, and extend shelf life. They are not there for your health. For older adults with sensitivities, inflammation, or thyroid concerns, soy-heavy bread can quietly cause problems that are difficult to trace. The formula also relies on ascorbic acid and enzymes, repeating the industrial pattern. These ingredients exist to remove time from the equation. Simple Truth is not slow food. It is fast food with an organic label. This bread is engineered to succeed in massive distribution, not in human digestion. The truth, once you read the label, is anything but simple. Number 2365 by Whole Foods Market. Whole Foods built its entire identity on one promise: higher standards. For years, shoppers trusted that if something carried the Whole Foods name, it meant fewer shortcuts, cleaner ingredients, and food closer to its natural form. That trust is exactly why 365 organic bread lands so high on this list, and why it matters so much. Turn the loaf around and read carefully. You'll find organic cane sugar and organic molasses added to a product that should not need sweetness at all. Bread does not require sugar to exist. Sugar is added for speed, softness, and shelf life, not nutrition. When sugar becomes normalized in bread, it quietly increases daily carbohydrate load, especially dangerous for older adults managing blood sugar, insulin resistance, or metabolic issues. The ingredient list doesn't stop there. Soy lecithin appears as an emulsifier, helping the dough behave more predictably during high-speed mixing. This ingredient is common in ultra-processed foods because it stabilizes texture and extends shelf life. It also introduces soy into bread, an unnecessary allergen for many people who are not expecting it in something as basic as a sandwich slice. Then come the processing aids: ascorbic acid and microbial enzymes. These are not traditional baking ingredients. They exist to replace time. Long fermentation naturally strengthens dough, improves flavor, and breaks down starches. Enzymes and conditioners allow factories to skip that process entirely. What once took a day or more now takes hours. This matters for digestion. Rapidly produced bread is harder on the gut. It spikes blood sugar faster and leaves many people feeling bloated or fatigued. Older bodies feel that impact more sharply. 365 organic bread meets the legal definition of organic, but abandons the philosophy. It is industrial bread with a trusted label, and that makes it more deceptive than brands that never claim to be better. Number 1. The organic factory bread system. The number one problem is bigger than any single brand. The most dangerous organic bread is the entire system of factory-made organic bread. Different labels, different colors, same formula. Most organic bread sold in supermarkets today follows the same blueprint: added sugar, added oil, dough conditioners, enzymes, fast fermentation, and extended shelf life. These loaves are designed for distribution, not digestion. Organic certification controls how ingredients are grown. It does not control how food is processed. That's the loophole. Factories exploit it by using organic versions of the same shortcuts found in conventional bread. Organic sugar is still sugar. Organic oil is still added fat. Organic enzymes still override natural fermentation. The result is bread that looks healthy but behaves like processed food inside the body. For seniors, this is especially dangerous. Bread is a daily staple. When it is sweetened, softened, and chemically optimized, it contributes silently to inflammation, blood sugar swings, weight gain, and digestive stress, without ever tasting like junk food. This is why people feel confused. They switch to organic and still feel unwell. The problem isn't the wheat, it's the system. If bread lasts 2 weeks on your counter, stays soft unnaturally long, and tastes slightly sweet, it is not traditional food, it is engineered. And that brings us to the truth most labels won't tell you. Few are safe. What real organic bread actually looks like, very few breads are truly safe. Not because bread is bad, but because real bread is rare. Safe bread follows simple rules. 5 ingredients or fewer. No added sugar, no added oils, no dough conditioners, no enzymes replacing time. Real bread relies on slow fermentation, often sourdough, sometimes sprouted grains. Always time. That time allows yeast and bacteria to break down starches, reduce anti-nutrients, and create complex flavors naturally. This makes bread easier to digest, less inflammatory, and more satisfying. Safe bread goes stale quickly. That is not a flaw. That is proof it is alive. It tastes less sweet. More grain forward. More filling. 1 slice satisfies where 3 slices of factory bread do not. For older adults, that means steadier energy, better digestion, and fewer blood sugar spikes. If you want safe bread, ignore the front of the package. Read the ingredient list. If you see sugar, oil, or words you wouldn't find in a home kitchen, put it back. Bread should not be convenient at the cost of your health. The truth is uncomfortable but simple. Most organic bread is still processed food. Only a few loaves are still real.